an amazing impression of you that like none of us have done better.
You chicken fucker. That's so hurtful. This doesn't feel lovey.
Oh. Okay.
You're here with Jeremy Futrell.
Matt McDougal.
I promise he's close to the phone, folks.
I'm so close.
It's so close I can taste it.
It's about to be here.
So this is the Jordan Patti episode, where we are going to talk to, you guessed it, Jordan Patti.
The pride of Ferrum College.
The
and
pride of Ferrum
World
College.
Chief Champion.
World Chief Champion. You're giving it all away right up front, but I love it.
You know.
In case you guys hear other chatter, we are joined by Brandon, whose last name I can't pronounce, and Nina Elliott with more letters than there should be. So, there's too many L's and T's. You got to pick one.
Pink knee.
Pink knee. Like you have a pink knee.
I have a
Pink knee.
But you fucking don't.
Yes, and say
No,
your
they're
knee's not
brown.
pink.
Yeah. No, they're brown. I love that. That's going to be the subtitle of this episode is No, They're Brown. And we're not going to explain it.
That's awesome.
Like episode 11, Jordan Patti. No, they're brown.
You're gonna glance at that, and it's gonna be
Everyone's going to be really...
what?
Look, it's going to get a lot of clicks.
Yes.
No one's going to know. They're going to want to find out. All right, we're going to attempt to rein this in, guys, but this is middle of VSG ECC's weekend. Matt McDougal just wrapped up his pro debut, which we will do a recap of in a little while.
Yeah.
But we're going to try not to talk about that too much. This episode is about Jordan Patti. And not even specifically about ECCs. This is just about him. So that you guys can get into... So, like, Matt and I are going to take a stab right quick at describing who Jordan Patti is. So, Jordan Patti is a very competitive Super A class thrower, I would say, who is very proficient in sheaf and hammers, and is pretty good all around at other stuff. His weights are his weak point. If I was to... I'm not saying his weights are bad. They're better than mine, but if we were to look across the board, I think that's fair. So if I was to put a boilerplate on Jordan Patti, that's what it would say. Or if we saw it in the hotel the other day, a broiler.
Yes.
But,
Yeah.
just, God damn it.
I mean, a great high school thrower chose to play football when he should have kept on throwing.
Yes.
And is paying the repercussions or the price for it at this point, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Oh, we're going to talk about injuries a lot in this episode, guys.
I got a lot for that.
Because it's most of his life.
Yeah. Came back to throwing later, and we actually threw together in high school.
Yes.
So
Oh, that'll be interesting. I'll let you guys talk about that. But Jordan...
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. I think Jordan beat him, guys.
It's a left-handed wind. Ah, there's a left-handed discus thrower. He PR'd by 25 feet. I wonder.
I've heard that story so many times. He's real sour about it.
And I found 190 that day,
Right.
too.
Do you
Literally.
even remember or care what happened to you in high school, Nina?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew she was going to say that because it's the one thing she says. But yeah. No,
But
we just...
that's
You age out of giving a fuck.
It's true. That's 2 podcasts of you just saying no.
No.
I think it's your catchphrase now.
Yeah,
Yeah, Nina, you're no longer
no,
Nina
Nina.
Hotshot, Elliot. You're Nina No, Nina.
No.
Nina No. We're making patches. I'm making headbands. All right, anyway.
Yeah.
So we really do have to rein this in to actually make some sort
It's
of
hard
legitimate
when you got me here.
We love Jordan, but that is true. This is going to be... You're going to hear a lot of us going, okay, refocus.
Yeah.
So,
We've
to
been friends for a long time.
to
will go on a
refocus,
tangent.
Jordan.
You're swirling.
Yeah, Nina, help me here.
Let's
Bring them in.
let's circle back.
Let's circle back.
This is now the circle back motion. Small counterclockwise.
Nina's going to be the moderator.
Yeah. So Jordan,
Shut up, Brandon.
if you were to write a bio line for yourself, you know, if you had a folder that everyone could view of what you have going on currently,
Yeah.
what would that bio line say? How would you describe you?
Matt Vincent 2.
But cooler because I think I'm awesome.
Yeah, because Matt
He was
Vincent never
cool. Yeah.
thought highly
He thought he
of
was a
himself.
loser.
But, one bio line?
I don't mean one sentence. I just mean
sentence, but
your
like-
bio line for what.
Yeah, if I'm like a
you're
little
doing.
quick, little short
How do
paragraph.
you self-identify?
Dude likes doing weird shit, picking up things, throwing things. Just, that's about it, really it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's cool.
keep it simple. I mean, that's just, it's fun. I grew up, that's what I did for fun when I was little. It's weird, but I mean, that's why I can be injured all the time and still throw good. Because that's what I did when I was a kid for fun.
Yeah.
Instead of watching cartoons, I would go outside and throw a stick or a rock until it got dark. Because that's what I did.
This episode is going to have so much
Local
racism in it.
caveman.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Local caveman, redneck finest, Bedford counties.
Yeah. All right, so walk us through the early quote-unquote strength career, right? Something we ask everyone to do.
I will start
So
back.
Matt already alluded to some of it, but...
I will start back high school because that's when I found the weight room. 6th grade is when I started. Rather young than most.
Man,
but I
if
walked
you guys
in
aren't
there.
picking it up, everyone that's better than me started sooner than me.
Yeah. I walked in the
done.
weight room and looked at the board and saw what the highest number was, which was a 525 squat. And I was like, I'm going to beat that. And I spent every day from then until I beat it in high school trying to beat that and just squatting, which is why I'm a 700-pound squatter, is because I focused on just that. My hips hate me for it because I sort of developed a natural West Side style stance
that nice hella
on my
wide.
own without knowing what I'm doing, just being a high school idiot.
Except the hips are too far down, the back
Yes.
is too far up.
Yes, and did that, but it worked.
You developed a West Side squat, but to depth.
Yes, in nothing but a leather belt, and it worked. I ended up in high school. I ended up squatting 535, I believe. That was after running a timed half mile, which I'm still salty about. But, you know, it be what it be. It's high school. Whoop-de-doodle-doo. It doesn't matter for shit. And football. But that's when I got into throwing. I found out Olympic track and field was a thing then. So that's pretty cool. And that gave me something like when I loved throwing as a kid. And I got into that. Was really proficient.
What
Good.
did you throw? Because I'm still learning
Just
what
shot and
high
disc.
school gives options of.
Virginia
so.
doesn't allow
We just do
hammer
shot
or
and
javelin. Just
Oh.
shot and disc because of the danger level. Just because, I mean, a
no,
hammer.
But
yeah.
we'll let kids all get CTE playing football. Sweet.
Yes.
All right, cool. Run on.
Not my 8+ concussions. But, you know,
Those are rookie numbers. You got to get
I've
those
played
up.
through every single one of those because, you know, raised the old-fashioned way with it. But, yeah, throw was rather proficient. 3-time state champion. And then 2 times in the shot, 1 time in the disc. And then went to college. Track ended up not working out. Family stuff happened. And football happened. And I went to Ferrum. I don't regret it. My body regrets it. I regret the pound on my body. But I don't regret the experience and everyone I met. I mean, if I went back, I'd probably do it again like that.
Yeah. I mean, you cashed a ticket. You got to do
Yeah.
something cool, and
Yeah.
you
And it
have a
was
receipt
awesome.
for it.
Yeah.
And that receipt is some really shitty hips and a fucked up back.
Yeah. And 8+
Concussions.
concussions. But,
And
I mean,
a brain that don't brain good.
yeah, I was really good at it. I was very proficient. My senior year, I racked up over 168 pancake blocks in 10 games. So do the math there. That's rather well. And then I got All-American. And
Pancake block
and
sounds
and
made up, but all right.
all of everyone listening should go to my Instagram. And
What is your Instagram? Do you want to plug it?
Uh,
I've been bad
it's-
at getting guests to actually
yeah, well,
plug their
it's
stuff.
Patty
Cakes.
Cake, but cake is spelt wrong. It's just CA. Let me look it up, make sure I do it right.
Oh, God.
Spelling's hard, guys.
So it's Patty. It's supposed to be Patty Cakes, but you know I just spelt it wrong
It's
to be
PATTICAKS52.
Yeah, and you'll scroll and find a picture of my All-American photo that's stuck on the wall, and it's awesome. You can get a good laugh about it, and I'll leave the rest to your imagination to you
That's
see
the one
it.
where you look like I won't say it.
Yes, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I look like I'm out
Like
of a different
former
century.
president.
Then how did you end up in the Highland Games? How did that transition
Well,
happen?
when I got to football, I wanted to keep throwing because I loved it. And so freshman year, ended up discovering on Instagram, just scrolling through, Matt Vincent was a thing. And I was like, oh, Highland Games is cool. Beer. And
Throwing.
yeah, and throwing things. Awesome. I'm down. And so
I'm good at both those.
yeah, so I discovered his YouTube at the time because that was 2016. So he was still throwing then.
Yeah.
And then just expanded from there. And then when I got out, I tried to be a regular human. That didn't work out. It was awful. And
What do you mean by tried to be a regular human?
I tried to go to work, come home, sort of like just do regular human shit.
Oh,
Not
give
do-
up on life.
Yeah, not do athletic stuff.
Yeah.
Just work.
Guys, there's a trend of everyone we're going to talk to
Yeah.
who is a good athlete. We don't work well like that.
No,
Our
it's
brains
awful.
look, and here there is nothing wrong with people that like to do that. I will say this: if that is what you like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But we would kill ourselves.
No, I
drink.
couldn't- Yeah, I couldn't find a regular hobby and just go home. Oh, I'm gonna sit down and read. Nothing against anyone that enjoys reading, but I can't go.
Patty
to work, come
doesn't
home and
read. Fuck
No.
that nerd shit.
That's dumb. I will fall asleep in a heartbeat. So I'm not going to do it. And it was a lot of depression and getting fatter again. And I said, yeah, no, I need to do stuff. And Highland Games. Chad Clark put me in touch with Brian McLean.
How did you meet Chad Clark? Because you just said that very casually. How
Facebook.
did that happen?
Facebook.
Did he tag you in a thing? His usual... If anyone doesn't know Chad Clark, by the way, you can reach out to Chad Clark and go, hey, do you know a guy that makes hot dog sculptures? And he'll be like, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And instead of just sending you his contact information like any other normal human, and I love the man, but he will then just tag you both in a Facebook status that he made.
Yes.
Half of Chad's wall is Brendan Pinckney, meet Matt
So-and-so.
McDougal. He throws kinda almost near you, runs a gym.
Yes.
And that's his version of introducing people is the Facebook
like
wall.
3 people.
I forget who put me in touch with Chad, but it was on Facebook. I was
Okay.
talking to Chad, and then he's like, hey, you should meet Brian. He just moved to, it was right when he moved to Roanoke. It was cool. So
Which was around what time?
Hubbity. I want to say like 2020.
Bugs Bunny over here. All right,
Yeah.
but 2020.
I want to say
That
somewhere,
time-
that general time
What
frame.
season are you at in the Highland Games?
This is like my third actual year.
So you started around the same time as Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're the same age. Same year, high school.
We're closer in age. I kept it closer. But
They're the same
this is
age,
her first season.
kind
So
of.
my point being, like,
Yeah.
age doesn't mean time in the sport
No,
necessarily.
but-
It could be...
But yeah, me and Matt
Yeah.
got in the same time.
What was your first game?
Pulaski. I did like
Pulaski.
2 games. I did Pulaski
Walmart bag in the
and Asheville, I think. I don't really count that as my first year because it's just sort of dipping my toes.
And
in.
that was you actually threw as a B first, right?
Yes, that was my B.
So I met you at your second Pulaski.
Yes.
Which was
And-
my first games.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And I didn't, fun fact, I didn't beat my B, my first ever games in Pulaski, I didn't beat those throwing numbers until this year, halfway through this year. It took me that long.
Dude,
so
it's
that's
kind of the upsetting part about having good events in your first
But
game.
that's a testament to Brian coaching me because I was able to practice with him all the time and learn from him, and he was getting me going, learning me on real well.
Yeah.
And then I moved away, and then I couldn't get up there, and then sadly he passed away. R.I.P. Brian McLean. And then it was just on my own. I still use a lot of his cues he gave me on practice now.
I never got to talk to Brian very much. I've talked to his brother several times.
Yeah.
Because by the time we ended up running in the same throwing circles often, it was kind of toward the.
And
the
Richard
end
does a lot of
things for
Glassa.
him. Yeah.
He did the Arnold this year.
He was at Green Hill a couple of times that I was at Green Hill. And Brian was there one time too, but I think Brian was actually maybe throwing.
Yeah, he threw later in life.
It was probably like 2018, 2017, something like that.
That wouldn't surprise me. I don't know when his last season was.
Yeah. All right, cool. Fucking everyone we interview is gonna be like, well, I met Chad Clark, and then
Yeah. It goes from there. Chad is like the allfather of
Like,
everything Virginia strength.
if you want to talk about a guy that is severely underpaid, like, oh my god, because the amount of people he's brought into this sport is insane for one person to accomplish,
A
and
lot of hearts that man has touched.
a lot of somethings. I'm sorry, Chad. I love you, and I should have let that be a serious moment, but I'm a child. Does Chad listen to this? I mean, I should
Probably.
ask him.
I doubt it.
That fucker.
I don't think he knows how podcasts work. So
We're gonna take Chad's phone tomorrow and set it up.
Yeah.
And be like, just click on this. You can listen to us talk.
Yes.
he's gonna say, "Man, I was listening, and then I got high.
It's like I got
fell asleep.
sidetracked.
I don't know what happened."
I went to Taco Bell and
Next thing you were shitting on Masters athletes, and I just I don't know what's happening anymore.
It just went downhill from there.
yeah. All right, sweet. So you got into it around the same time as Matt. Did you throw any B games when you started?
That first Pulaski game, and that was it. It was first.
Did you
B
win that
games.
one and
Oh
just
yeah,
go ahead and move
yeah,
on?
yeah. I won it.
See
It was
that?
the
Motherfucker, I had to
one.
throw a
Yeah,
B
why
for
would
like
you
a
even
year.
ask?
Yeah,
Fuck both of you.
yeah. You know,
Did you find it?
so as a B1, but and throwing as a B, that first games I had a 33-foot heavyweight, a 65-foot lightweight, and
Clang
like
around on the glass
like
table some
a
more. That'll
mid.
make
I
for
think
really good
I don't know what my
fucking audio.
hammer was, but I think my hammer was like a mid 80 or low
For which
mid-
hammer?
Heavy.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah,
I
that's
think. And my light was
I've been to
started.
work for 5 years to get a mid 80 heavy.
I
hammer,
say
so
my
it's not bad.
my light started off in like the mid upper 90s.
Do you guys want to all compare our starting numbers?
Hold up.
Yes.
I'd love to do
My
that.
phone's
Well,
upstairs.
go ahead and do it now because this
Let's
is
see if I
a
have
good
internet.
span for
Yeah.
people to. You've got one person here who
Let's-
is still working and took several years in the sport to get good because they
here, I'm just
running
gonna
back around. And,
Sabermetrics is going to be best. Sabermetrics is a great resource.
oh yeah, we should add a link to that in our.
Yeah.
Hey, by the time you listen to this, link in our bio, Cabermetrics will be in there.
It's like Nazca, but
easy to
better
use.
in some ways.
All right, so I don't have internet. It's not working. So,
good.
I
I can recall most of mine.
Yeah. And like my stone, that first bit, because I did holiday, I believe, that year, was like 44, because I actually could practice consistently and not get injured at the time. Unlike
Which
now.
is
recurring problem we're going to get into a little bit.
we can get into it right now. We can just talk about your injuries.
Hey, let's go. I mean,
All
where
right,
do you want to start?
Start rambling off. I want to know what it is, how you got it, and then what I'd like to know, if we can break this down into 4 pieces, is how it affects your throwing and what you're doing to manage it.
All right,
Because I think that's what people are actually going to get a lot out of.
I'll start from the bottom of my body up. So, thankfully, I did escape with my knees rather well from football, surprisingly, as a lineman. I was a right guard center. I have a little bit of cartilage damage in my right knee, but because I tore meniscus, but it's not that bad.
This sport might do that to you anyway.
Yeah, but my hips are shot. I have no internal rotation in either hip. I actually have 1 degree.
None.
I have 1 degree internal rotation on my left. You can ask anyone here.
We did watch it in the kitchen this morning before breakfast.
Yeah, it's terrible. But
it's there.
Yeah, I mean, my right one I already had an arthrogram on, and it's already arthritic. Where they do the
I never even go to the doctor, and you guys are talking about all these things you've had to do.
It's like my right hip got so bad senior year of college, I couldn't actually get down in my stance. And it was just that leg is just hiked out to the side in some weird, like, awkward cowboy leg up on a barrel stance because I couldn't get my hip wouldn't turn. It was impinged so badly. So I worked around that. But it get pinching pain in the front all the time. I mean, it's already starting arthritic. I've been given the timeline of, it's a little cold in the back, of like mid-30s of when I would likely need a replacement if I continue on the same path.
Which you will. So
yeah, I'm just gonna throw my body in the dirt. I mean, that's what it's for. I'm not gonna try to let me try to make it survive until I'm 60 and then get everything done. No, I want to have fun while I'm young and can do things. I don't want to wait till I'm old and can barely move anyway because I'm old.
So when you're my age, you'll have to have a fake hip.
Yes.
Sweet.
Matt Vince?
It will stop.
Kind of. I think he waited till he was closer to like Nina's age, but yeah.
And it will finally be much better. But I mean, I'm at the point now I can't stop moving. Like when I try to be a regular human, my joints just started locking up, getting tight. Everything got worse.
Desk jobs are out of the.
Yes, so that's why I work manual labor right now. I move, but anyway, yeah, the hips are an issue because like Matt can attest.
Okay, how does that?
I can't like rotate my foot in like when I do.
You can't.
Stone.
It's very broken.
Yes, I can't.
So you only power throw your open stone
right now. Yeah, because I don't practice. If
she's power throwing 56 plus, but.
Well,
46. 46 plus.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jesus Christ, when did that happen?
Yeah, so...
I'm sorry.
Go pro already. Holy fuck.
So, like, I should already be at 50 plus, but it's just... injuries and then the time.
Ditto? No.
And then the time it takes to practice. Because stone is something I have to throw a lot for me, personally. I can't not practice
you stop doing it, it goes downhill fast.
My timing gets all out of whack, and that's this year, because... my back's been hurt twice, which I'm getting too soon. So I have an issue with my hips. I can't rotate them in, so I can't properly rotate my hip and foot in to go. I sort of have to come off the inside ball of my foot and shove stuff through that way and make it work, which I'm good at since that's what I've done since I was a kid.
For the people at home, like we were going over it today, there's a very popular thing called a 1-2 drill where you cant your hip in and then you push it forward and then you throw the stone shot, whatever. Patty's body can't do that.
Yes.
That hip doesn't move that way.
No. So if you watch videos and slow down any of my stone throws, you will see my leg can't rotate.
It's not that he's not trying. It won't physically happen. He cannot do that.
It slams in. Like, my hips are probably slightly retroverted as well, on top of general mobility issues.
Looks dirty.
But
I kind of liked it. Shut up.
Yeah. So, like, it's working around that is tough, but I can make it work really proficiently.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're throwing very competitive numbers, so I don't think it's not working.
Yeah, and it doesn't bother anything. Like, the only time it'll bother me is in sheath sometimes. Because when I block on my right leg and I come through, that right leg gets forced into rotation a tad.
What?
And it'll hurt.
What?
What is we got going on
Hang
here?
on.
What?
Pause.
What? What?
Brandon, get on it.
What?
What?
What? No, Nina.
Right? Hold no, Nina.
Thank you.
Tights
Counterclockwise.
She's circling back?
Refocus.
refocus.
Oh, she's telling us to refocus. That's fair.
But moving on from my hips, my back, I have a bulge disc in whatever, L5, whatever one's the one right above the tailbone. Yeah, whatever's right above the coccyx or sacrum, whatever you want to call it. It's on the top of that vertebrae. I have a bulge disc there from 10th grade in high school. That's neither here nor there.
Children are supposed to be invincible. How the fuck did you come out of high
Well,
school so
when
built?
no one teaches you how to properly squat, and they're like, "Oh,
We
we're gonna
lost
do-"
our childhood young.
Are
Yes.
we going to have a whole episode about high
Yes.
school weight rooms? Because I've never spent a lot of time in one until this last year.
I actually have a lot of
and
opinions.
it makes me sad.
Yes, and quick story about that. When I was then, my technique, no one taught me to properly squat in body positions. I was like, oh, if I just arch my low back as hard as I can, the squat's easier. Cool. I'm going to do
I
that.
just kept doing it, and then when you're doing that at 500 pounds,
Yeah, well, our coach had us doing, I could squat over 500 in 10th grade, and our coach was like, cool, you're really strong, we're going to overload box squats, but the rocking ones, and try to rock in a seated box squat with the sumo stance with your
so
back
take your
back.
vertebra and
Yeah, in that position, and put 640 on a 13-year-old's back. Yeah,
Have we thought
stuff's
about
gonna mess up.
suing that guy?
No, I mean it's not really his fault. I mean I just did it anyway. But I mean he was a good
Okay.
coach, but
At
neither.
what point does incompetence become?
But
vicious?
neither here nor there. I mean it's football. It be what it be.
It's
It's
a
life.
good attitude to have.
It's
though.
just
Get
boys
things
being
done.
boys.
It's life. I mean I don't blame anyone.
Ruining their
for it.
bodies at 13 the way God intended.
Yeah, I don't blame no one for it. But the fact that I could that age and handle that weight was amazing. But nonetheless,
Incredible, Patty.
yeah. I did it, and then I found something was wrong when we were running later that day, and my right leg just turned off. So I sat out that season. It acts up like I spent earlier in the year. I was switching
You
between.
got some stuff early. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the first time was my fault because I was swapping between high bar, low bar, trying to transition between, but I chose a little too high of a weight for doing that. And in the same session, I did low bar and high bar, so my body wasn't really set up for it. So that was my own fault for being a dumbass. Mm-hmm. And I was crawling for 3 days. I couldn't stand up. But nonetheless, yeah. So I couldn't stand for 3 days. And that was right around a little bit before Tartan Day this year. Because that's the one I showed up to, and I was like, hi, I'm here. And that's all you're getting. Because I can barely stand and walk. So... And then activated a little later from me just bending over to pick up my hat, which was annoying. So, yeah, that happens.
Is
Even
there
when
a
you're 25.
specific-
That was also the time of year you got a coach, right?
Yes. I just started with Willie Danzer, the Willie Danzer, the ginger legend. Jinx, you owe me a beer.
Bucket right there.
12.
Yeah.
Now, my question is there a specific way that you have found to manage the back issue to try and keep it from holding you back?
That's a tough because it does its own thing because it is a bulge disc in the end. And it's there.
But, like, does it just require rest? Is there something, like, how do you...
It's a large part of rest, and then what I've started doing a lot is just naked squats. Not like butt-ass naked, like balls clapping around. But
Goes into this local Planet Fitness and
yeah,
just lets it hang.
yeah.
He's been kicked out of 18 gyms.
Yeah.
Right.
Just letting the cheeks spread. But no, just no sleeves, just beltless, and do what I can to control. And as soon as something in my technique falters or my timing gets off, that's it. I can't go higher. I won't do it. And that's the only way I can find. Because if I put a belt on, I'm going to press against the belt. I'm going to tense up. I'm going to get a let out position. Like, oh, cool, I can still do it. But that's going to put added stress.
Yeah.
So I've started doing that, and I'm going to switch to, because Willie thankfully gives me the option of what I want for lower body, and so I'm going to do front squat. I can do a variation of the different lifts, so I'm going to focus on front squat and front loading.
Cool.
So because that puts a lot less strain, and I have never heard it doing that.
All right. I'll take that as an adaptation. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so lower back, moving on up.
Yeah, from there is shoulders. I've had a labral repair on my right shoulder already, and then my left shoulder, I dislocated throwing wob at Port City last year.
Nice.
It was a cool day. Thor, the Asgardian himself, slapped me on my thigh. I was PRing by 3 feet, knocking the bar at 16. It was amazing. And then my second pull...
Feels good to do that.
Yeah, then my second pull at 14, and the bottom, my shoulder just decided to come out of socket. I finished the throw, it came back in, I finished the day out, and then had to throw right-handed for the remainder of the year. It was awesome, in a very sarcastic sense. So that took a while to work around. Now it's fine. Yeah. I just can't. I probably could. I don't dare try to throw wob left-handed though, because it's fairly even throwing left or right. It doesn't make too much of a difference.
To clarify, Patty is left-handed.
Yes, I'm left-handed. I'm weird. I'm a southpaw. Hell yeah.
You guys just did that with your right hands, so...
Yeah, what the fuck?
You know...
We're celebrating your left-handedness with your right hand, the way God intended.
But, yeah, and so I've worked around that way.
My kid's left-handed. I shouldn't drag it too much.
And I've been through so much shoulder
I'm painting
rehab.
with my left.
That's your... Yeah.
That was too many words.
It's my left.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to just say no.
But yeah, that's been one to work around. Thankfully, I'm like a king at shoulder rehab from doing it for 4 years in college, straight from chronic AC.
You actually gave me a couple of, when I threw Radford last year, a couple of the things you did, I did to rehab mine from that, it was a minor injury. I'll call it. Like, I couldn't push up my right. I threw like dog shit the whole day because I couldn't use it. Something, I think it was probably like a muscle belly tear. I wasn't sure. Just wanted something in there. Nothing completely tore off, but something got funky for sure. But that was a big help.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been doing that for over 5 years now, and every day before I start my workout, I do rotator cuff.
Yeah.
Every day, just to keep everything tight and everything moving and shoulder flexibility.
Good man.
But that's most of the extent for stuff that bugs throwing. Other than my wrist this year at Arnold's, I picked the caber wrong and moved my arms too soon, and it landed on my right wrist.
Yeah.
And so that's
I've never had any
fucky.
big wrist issues. What I tend to have is just inflammation in the joint. Like if I forget my wrap or something, or like I hit the ground doing hammer, like it can just end up nagging for like weeks at a time.
Yeah. I mean, like wraps and stuff like that help, especially like for shot putters. Like once you really get a big hyperextension, stuff gets fucky for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So stuff happens. I mean, that's just basic stuff with their like fingers dislocations and everything.
Yeah. It'd be like that. All right, so that runs us through all of the injuries.
Currently.
Let's talk about your current season and what your future goals are. So, like, how are things moving currently? What events are really popping? What events are still...
What are your PRs and everything?
Yeah, so right now, PR in Braemar I hit this year was a 40-foot, 1 inch in Norway.
Jesus Christ. Well, gravity's different in Norway.
Yeah. And also,
mountain.
Granted, that was...
downhill. Literally down the mountain.
That was playing the angle out of a wing trig.
It doesn't matter.
No, I mean, but also, this last week at AM Worlds in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, I threw 39 and some change with a good regular Braemar, throwing perfectly straight. So it doesn't really make too much a difference. I was throwing it still went the same distance.
Yeah.
So Braemars came along a lot better than I expected this year. Open stone, I popped a good power throw off because I've been practicing it
PRs.
for issues. Yeah. PR's 49.9
Yeah, Radford
from
last year, right?
Radford last year. And then heavyweight, 34.10.
Yeah.
I found a big one last week.
Yeah, I know.
It was a 35 plus one turn. It was sexy, but I'm just dumb. And then 69 and some change light. I hung on to one last week.
Yeah, and your weights are coming along quick.
Yes.
So.
I'm finally understanding them a little bit and how to apply power. Now that I've started landing in a consistent place,
a weird
and
one.
balanced,
Yeah.
I can... Because, like, my body can understand when something's fucky and something's not lining up. I can feel it because I've thrown for so long.
Right. I'd imagine you throw this similar to me where you started trying to throw it like a disc.
Yes.
And that got you into the 65. It's not a disc anymore,
No.
right? Yeah. No, it's very fucking different. And so, as soon as I made that delineation, I PR'd by 10 feet. So, like, I'm waiting for you to actually pop one off there.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. I've thrown some bombs in practice.
Right.
And the biggest thing, like, if anyone's listening that wants a quick little cue or anything, I'd never understood it until I finally put stuff through, is when I'm getting out, syncing with the weight, getting in a rhythm with it hitting its high point, and as it's coming down, sinking with it.
Right.
And you can feel it accelerate because you're sinking down and your hand's still attached to it.
It's a really good feeling the first few times.
Yeah, and you just lock that shoulder in the
Right.
same spot. You sink like a foot. That weight's dropping a foot right now.
It's the swing down as much as it is the swing
Yes,
up.
because down you have gravity helping you.
Right.
You're gonna get more. You're gonna be more efficient with your
It's
energy
more
expenditure.
yoinky. You
Yes.
know?
Or Yoinga.
Yeah.
Yoinga.
But going on from there, I hit a 102 heavy hammer
At Dublin.
and a 119
Correct. 119.11,
light.
right?
Yeah, light hammer.
120 light.
Yeah, at Dublin as well.
119 light.
Yeah,
It was on a hill,
And
so
then-
it really was 110.
and sheaf. I think my game's PR is 33, but I mean we all know I have a lot more left in me.
Patty's a thrower that if he actually connects on one, it's going to go 36 to 38 on a 16 and can easily do 30 with a 20.
Oh yeah, like right now my PRs with the 20 and 16 are 3 feet apart.
Right.
So
And he's just changed forks to a fork
Yeah.
that's not dumb. So
yeah, because I've been with my fork. I've had to stop my pull early to where I have to stop it before I get to my left hip, and my left hand is on the back of the fork on the handle. So I only got from straight out to before my hip, before my left knee, and then I have to stop, pull up because the way the times work. And so now I have a proper fork. I can actually push through all the way.
you can throw like I throw.
Yeah.
But better.
Probably better.
So, world chief champion.
Who's lost to me twice after earning the title.
Sometimes this line of work, you just got to deal with it. Shit happens.
I just threw 26, so I'm going to shut
And then
the fuck up.
Wob is 15 last year.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do this year starting, and finally I've gotten consistent at 14 now.
I think you could hit 15 tomorrow if you...
Yeah, if I could, my timing.
It's in the cards to
Yeah.
do. You know,
It's doable.
Yeah, it's just going to see how stuff lines up. If not, I have big goals next year, so that's my current, which right now, NASDAQ this year, with just what I have in, I'm at 70.99, which is respectable.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm progressing each year. I'm not stagnating, which is what I want.
For people that don't quite know how pro works, which is me included,
Set the pro.
yeah, it says the pro.
The man getting paid.
Anyone over 7,000 points is at the point where they could be considered a pro. Being a pro just means that you're currently getting pro invites, which is a whole different podcast that we'll talk about later. But Patty is good enough that if he wanted, within his region, he could throw in 2 games every year for the next 15 years. He's at that point where he could be a local hero.
Yes.
We're trying to get Patty to the point that he is a fucking monster.
National
so that
hero.
He can get all the invites.
Because I don't want to do just a handful or like just stay local. I want to travel and see things, do things, and go to a lot of places.
We're kind of running a test between me and Patty here, and we're going to let you know in the next 2 years who panned out better because of it. I'm kind of taking the risks here.
Spoiler alert, it was me.
Spoiler alert.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping stuff going how I want next year. Stuff's going. I have very, very ambitious goals for next year.
Huge.
We're gonna get to it. I want to talk about what your goals are for tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
very quickly.
All right, so
I don't want to do like a full predictions episode. I just want to say like, hey, we have a big game tomorrow. Where's your head at? What do you-
Tomorrow is
next
the East
game.
Coast
I came
Championships.
off. I got some upper respiratory infection before going to Worlds last week.
Right.
Ended up waking up with a temperature over 104. That
Which is
lasted
pretty
2
close
days.
to his heavy hammer.
Yeah. And like I caught the Parkinson's from it. I remember getting out of bed. I was cold, and like I was like, "Fuck, this is a fever," and it was bad. Like I couldn't even roll out of bed. It took everything in me to pull the covers off of me and just spread my legs with my fan on until I cooled down enough to where I can actually kind of crawl out of bed. But while I was sitting there, I was feeling my hand. It was just sitting there, giving a little Parkinson's shake. So I caught the Parkinson's from where the fuck I caught. Not really Parkinson's, but it's just funny to say. And
Yeah, all the people with Parkinson's agree.
yeah. So I'm not expecting.
They're not listening.
Yeah. So the fact I
They couldn't get
PR'd
played.
and finished close to anything at Worlds under that condition is amazing.
Yeah, no,
So
that's good.
it's. I mean, I was going into that
I
expecting
will always
nothing.
be pro a consistent athlete.
Yes.
I would much rather be a consistently pretty damn good athlete than a once in a while great
Yeah,
athlete.
because
would be cool.
say you throw just some obscene, let's say you throw a 42 heavyweight, right? But then on a regular day, you're throwing 33. That's almost a 10-foot difference. Yeah, your PR's there, but on regular games, that's not going to happen. You're going to get your ass beat every time. So it's the give and take. If you're consistent, say you throw 35, and you're consistent throwing 33 to 35, you're fine. You can guarantee and count you're going to at least be here. So if you're going for the dub or anything, you're like, cool, I don't have to focus and try super hard, and I'm going to throw this. And it's an easy piece of
I mean, 33 would have been third in my most recent pro comp. So
yeah.
That's what I'm hoping to throw tomorrow.
right.
So, but going back on to ECCs, I'm not expecting something really large. I'm expecting to maybe,
up your nails.
hopefully, I'd love to PR one event, Sheaf particularly.
Okay.
But, I mean, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. New fork, it's going to be all over the place.
Yeah. Something that they say with their predictions is both Jeremy and Patty kind of selflessly came out today and spent all day in the sun for me, which makes me emotional, so I won't talk about it.
I also spent a little bit of time for all
Little-
the pros there
little
because your
twist
caber
us.
would have killed everyone else.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was a mess. But so they might be a little
I shaved caber
sunned.
for a fucking hour in the sun,
We took a lot of energy out of them for me to throw.
refilling with Bud Light and Glenmorangie.
Now, my goals were originally to peak for Worlds and ECCs and just dominate and crush, but with given circumstances and everything, still recovering from getting sick, I'm just finish close to my PRs,
Yeah.
and I'll be happy with
I really
that.
think it's the kind of comp where we're all just going to try and throw good numbers for us, and the chips
Yeah.
fall where they
Yeah,
fall.
if I could throw
it's,
a 30,
it's not a local
yeah.
comp where we get to game it and go, well, I know I'm throwing against this guy, and I've done it 6 other times, so let me try.
Yeah.
Like,
And if you want specifics, 35, 37 Braemar, 43 open, and heavyweight, I'm hoping to PR too. I've had some big ones, even being sick. I'm hoping for somewhere around 33 to 35.
Backpedal. You don't think you're
not
gonna?
more. But
You don't think you're gonna power throw that little stone 45 feet? I mean, you could.
I'm being conservative.
that's if we throw open.
Yeah.
We may not throw an
Oh,
open
true.
stone.
You're not throwing
Yeah,
open.
it's just
never mind.
Braemar.
The plan
So-
is not open
If
stone
we
right
throw
now.
open,
Open stone,
if we throw
no
open
light hammer.
43, because I don't know how springy I'm going to be
Fair.
coming. So
Fair.
35, 37 Braemar open if we throw it that. Heavyweight would be another one I'd like to PR, but if I could just hit around 34, 33, 34, I'll be
You know,
happy.
1 turn, 2 turn tomorrow.
Start off 1 turn and then go
I-
to 2 turn.
I should have. Yeah.
Depending on how
You should have stuck to the fucking plan, Matt.
Because right now, with getting sick, I haven't been able to practice and keep my timing. So I might blow out the right side and just be all over the place and not be able to connect. But my 1 turns I can generally always connect. So start off there, see how it goes. Lightweight, same thing. I'm probably just 2 turn on my lightweights, and I'm either gonna smash.
See,
the
I'm
toe
almost
board.
certainly going to only one turn my lightweight.
I'm either gonna smash the toe board or I'm gonna stay in somehow. We're gonna see how that goes, and then heavy hammer. I'm hoping for mid 90s, but we're gonna see. And then sheaf, obviously, that's a big one. I'm looking to PR. I'm hoping to hit my PR, if not mid upper 30s.
Okay.
But that's that because we've seen with the fork now. If I catch one, it's gonna fly.
If Patty, I've seen Patty throw like 36 plus, even with a 20-pound bag. It's just not within the standards. So
Yeah.
if Patty can actually put one in the 10 feet standards, then he'll win.
We're Gucci.
Right.
And then wob, of course, is I just clear 13 and 14 first try, and then take 3 pulls at 15.
Yeah. See what
So
happens.
that's the goal, in short, for that.
I like it.
ACC.
All right. So that's what you're hoping for tomorrow.
Yes.
What is your long-term game plan, Patty? What do you want to get out of
long-term
sport?
game
What do you
plan.
want to do?
Of course, I'm not one for just being what the fuck. Oh, it's a beer. I'm not one for
What is in my ass?
I'm not one for being complacent with anything and being average. I hate being average. I think it's dumb to shoot for being average and staying there. You should always try to be better in every aspect of your life and everything you do. If not, what's the point? It's like insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It just,
Said
it
the
just
most
doesn't.
insane person in this room.
Yes, it doesn't compute for my mind. So I want to be the best I can be, the best my body will allow me to be. And I'm planning on using every ounce of my body I can, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, use it.
Yeah, I mean, I have it, and I only have one body. Why am I going to not use as much of it as I can?
There's a great quote that my dad loved. That was my dad's mother's, and it was this isn't a dress rehearsal. You only get to play, right? So like, if you don't like,
Brandon, shut the fuck up. Matt just said something really meaningful from his dead dad.
Yeah,
dead
dad club.
Yeah, dead dad.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brandon's one of us.
Are you in it? Oh, you're lame.
No, I met him today. He was really nice.
But nonetheless, I want to get as far in the sport as I can. Obviously, I want to go pro. And my timeline right now, I'm just talking to some people and what I think about what a pro should be in standards. Of course, what I think the standard for pro should be, I want to meet myself. Because, I feel sort of hypocritical if I don't at least meet that standard myself.
Yeah.
So...
it hurts.
Yeah, so I'm like, I want to do that. So until I meet that standard for myself, I don't want to go pro. Hopefully, given if I meet the goals I want from this offseason and next year, I'm not fucking my back up again and staying healthy. A year and a half. Next year, all amateur. Then after that, probably start amateur and then work into being pro, sort of like you did this year.
Yeah.
Towards the back end of it, so I can still hit some of the games
Like
I want
October timeframe next year.
So I can, because we have a lot of fun amateur games we're not going to get to do.
For sure.
As pros.
Not next year, the year following. All of 2024 will be AM.
Yes, and then
He's talking about October
2025.
25.
Yes.
Oh, you're saying...
I'll go next year,
yeah.
all next year AM. Yeah.
You mean 19 months?
Yeah, all next year amateur. And then...
It's fucking lame.
Because I want to meet... I want a full season of meeting my standard that I have set for what I think a pro should be.
Sure.
And if I can do that, I will feel comfortable going up.
You just want to curve
Granted,
for a while.
Yeah, granted, I won't turn anything down. I mean,
Right.
I feel like that'd be dumb if I start getting a couple pro invites. But I'm like, why would I turn that down? Because, they probably likely may not invite me back again. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And
they
with-
probably won't invite you back.
Yeah,
actually.
and with the
Let's talk about
numbers-
what being
There's a
pro
chance even
is.
if you show up, they won't. No, I'm just
Yes,
Right.
and so being already up over, if we have 7,000 as a mark for that,
Right.
then, all right, cool, I can at least hang in the middle of the pack. Or at least hang
You can be a jobber,
somewhere.
bro.
Yeah,
In a
I won't
heartbeat,
get, I likely I at least won't finish last. I'll at least not be last in everything. I'll be somewhere.
You're as good
So,
as me, and I didn't finish last.
So, I feel like I won't turn anything down. But
Right.
that's my timeline, year and a half. Next year, amateur, just rape and destroy everything I can. Not literally rape, because that would be illegal and very
Immoral.
Grotesque.
Yes, and grotesque.
We'd kill 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and not good to do, and very bad. You should never do that. But I just want to take over. Boom. It's like we don't have a building to throw you off of, so we're gonna get
we could hurt you real bad off of this one.
let's be honest. If a car hit me, the car would have more damage than me at this point.
Not in your fucking hip, bud.
No.
If they catch you in that iliac, you're fucking broke.
Oh no, he goes from 1 degree internal rotation to none.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's always facing out. He just
Right.
can't even. He's in the negatives.
So, but that's my timeline for that, and to just do that and then get as far as I can in the sport. I'd love to go to Worlds and be a world champion would be absolutely amazing, and I will not stop trying to be a world champion. Whether I make it or not, I don't know, but I'm not going to give up on trying to be it. And just push my body as far as my body will allow me to go until
Fuck
it
it.
fully breaks and I need replacement parts. So until I need replacement parts, I'm going to keep throwing as hard as I possibly can.
I have something to say on that. For anyone that hasn't given their all, there's a point that you have to get to where you decide to give your all to something. And I understand most people can't and won't do that. But anyone that steps aside and says that's the wrong choice or says that they could never do it, you could never do it. It is hard. It's not an easy thing to do. You always have second thoughts. You always, but fuck it. And
do it.
Patty's probably the freest one among us. We just, fuck it, we ball. And that's the mentality, and that's what we bring to the table.
Yeah. And coming from me in football background, in order to be good at it and be really high proficient, All-American, every play of the game, you have to come across with the intent to murder the man in front of you.
Right.
And cause bodily harm to him and make him not want to get up and make him want to cry and get off the field. I actually made someone cry before.
Fuck.
Hilarious story.
That sounds funny.
Tell it. This is a podcast.
Yeah.
It's your podcast.
So we ran, side story here, we ran the play I forget. We're playing Shenandoah, poor 3 technique that they had. And if you don't know it, Google it. And,
You're already on your phone listening to this. Do a Google.
yeah. And so their poor 3 technique. I was right guard. He was lined up outside shade on me. We ran our 14, which was a backside center guard pulls the way we ran it. And I was the block off man who cut him inside and made the hole. I was really good at that. So we ran that the same play the whole way down the field.
Really good at making holes.
Yeah, we ran that the whole way down the field for about 5 times in a row. Scored. I knocked him down and dragged my nuts across his forehead. Every play of those. And then...
I may not know a lot about football, but...
Well, when you're good...
I think you got our pants on.
You have to demoralize people. Head games.
Yeah, fuck them for wanting to play a game.
Yeah. Like, you dared...
How dare that kid try
How
to
dare
discount college
like getting
in the
back,
Shenandoah region?
Like, getting back to that mindset,
His
you have
dad's
to have
dying
the
in a coal mine.
mindset of coming off the ball to cause bodily harm and be like, how dare you line up across
It's
the ball
them
for
versus
me?
you.
Yeah, how dare you line up across that ball for me willfully? You should be shitting your pants right now wanting to cry in the bathroom.
Well, while you're on that topic,
Yes.
to
No,
divert
why
it-
they're...
Wait,
Right.
do I need to pause this and we need to
No,
run this?
no. One of the things me and Patty talk about all the time is taking off our governor. I felt that there was a time where I could be truly violent. I had bad shit going on in my life, and I could punch, and I could punch as hard as I wanted, and there's nothing stopping me. And then morals kicked in, and family, and trying to be not that guy anymore. It made it hard to throw as far, right? And so taking that governor off is something that we talk about all the time.
Which I have a problem with. I
You have a
it on
problem
right
with,
now.
right? So, what are you doing right now to try to work on getting back to that mindset of just being a fucking animal?
Yeah, it's a lot of like getting confidence in my body that I can push it and it's
Right.
not going to explode and my back's going to go off or something.
Yeah.
It's getting that confidence is finally back, especially after getting sick and still throwing decent.
Right.
It's like cool. I can be worn down and I'm still going to there, so my body's fine. So I feel like, especially ending the season, I got the confidence, and then it's going to work in just being aggressive with something again.
Right.
Either like throwing, it's hard throwing by yourself. Throwing with a group is much because then it's like cool. Someone's here. It's like I want to beat the fuck out of whatever you just threw, and so I'm going to put every
It's
ounce
nice
of
to have someone that you really want to beat.
yeah.
for
So
sure.
it's like even if like say
Even
it's
if they're
someone
not-
who's not throwing near as good as me, it's like cool. It's not that I want to be mean to somebody, but it's that I want to make your throw look like a fucking 2-year-old did it, and I'm gonna try as hard, put every ounce
Yeah.
of my being into making that look like shit. It's not personal or anything against them or whoever it is. It's just that's the mentality.
It's
you
the
need to
mindset that you have to
in
reach.
order to get that governor off and
For
be
us.
violent. Yes. That's the, like, football, that's, like, why I was saying the NFL thing with their players, why they're prone to violence.
Can you stop going back to that? We were doing good moving past it.
Okay,
but-
fine.
Domestic
But,
violence is not okay.
yeah. I left that out. I said
Hey,
prone
hey.
to violence.
Nina says no.
Wait. Yeah, Nina, what do we say about domestic violence?
No.
I said prone, okay, let me change it. Prone to violence, because
I can
their
understand how
entire
high-level
life- yes.
athletes are prone to
Yes,
violence. Good. I
because-
can edit the rest of the shit out and try and keep that.
Yes, because that's
It's gonna
their
be a lot
life.
of work.
That's their life day in, day out. And especially in the football spectrum. Because you have
is a
to
spectrum.
Yes, you have to be violent and come across with the intent to cause bodily harm to
You
the
have to
person
come
across.
trying to hurt people.
Yes.
to try and
So-
hurt people when you come.
Yeah. So I can understand how that can get ingrained. Like, if they're not as strong mentally and can control
me.
when they turn
Right.
it on and when to turn it off and when it's acceptable, it
Right.
can
Not for
it can
me.
be hard. And so, like, if you're not don't have, not I want to say as strong as a mind and put people down, but if you're not as good at controlling your mind, disciplining yourself, that's how it can leak into other aspects of life
Yeah.
and outside of the sport.
Yeah.
How do you feel like Highland Games has, or the athletic mindset has leached into the other things you do? Do you feel like it's affected your work, your personal life? Because I know for me it has certainly affected what I've chosen to do as a profession, what I've chosen to do for relationships, what I've chosen to do for basically everything in my life is revolving around being an athlete.
And everyone hates fucking mediocrity.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, except the mediocres, and they say
Yeah.
it's
I meant everyone in this room.
right.
I hope.
But no, yeah, it goes and
You did good today.
yeah.
I know, I was saying you better hate the mediocrity.
It's changed. Like my job, I chose a job that
You kill them cows extra good now.
Yeah, cows, pigs, sheep, goats.
He literally kills all day.
I run a slaughter floor, and I'm the main killer because I'm in charge of it. So that's the most important part. Because if that gets fucked up,
If the
we get
animals
shut
are
down.
dead, you can't eat them.
Do you know how hard it is to
then you get
quarter
shut
out a
down.
2,000-pound animal if it's still alive? That some bitch kicks.
Patty's fingers are incredibly strong.
Yes, they are, but they
Let
can
me
only
tell
do
ya.
so much.
Ladies.
They're limited, but
Hey, I do have really good finger strength. I'm actually going to try to train for the one finger deadlift world record.
I can't wait for you to bulge
Anyway,
a
how
disc
do you
in
feel
your
like
back
it's
doing that
affected
stupid
like
shit.
every other part of your life, being an athlete? Do you think it's at the forefront? Do you think it's something... I know for me it's been all-consuming at this point.
Yeah, I'm getting to that point because it's
Yeah.
becoming more, especially now that I'm like, oh, cool, here's the thing I want to do and push as hard as I can.
Yeah.
I'm starting to center stuff around it. I'm not taking vacations for myself. My vacation was going to Norway.
To compete.
To compete. And it was...
At Worlds.
Yes.
That
Well, not the IHGF Worlds, just a regular FIFA IHGF comp. But I was able to compete in the IHGF Caber and Sheaf World Championships. They allowed us to do that. And I won Sheaf. So, Sheaf World Champion.
So at Worlds.
Yes. And got to meet Nick Best, Ed Cohn, Oldhagen. And it was an amazing time. But...
Danny Stone Girl. Chloe Brennan.
yeah,
There
Chloe
we go.
Brennan. Yeah, Chloe Brennan, Matt Jones. Amazing couple. Amazing humans.
Good people.
Yes, amazing. Can't wait to see y'all again. If y'all listen to this, probably not.
There you
but
go.
I wouldn't.
they are amazing.
Not
people.
until you put them on.
It's not even me breaking shit. But yeah, it's started leaking into other aspects of life. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't see it because you're pushing everything towards the one goal
Right.
you want, and it's like you're burning the boats.
God damn it!
I
had to.
If you quote Goggins on this podcast, I'm
just
never
did.
airing it.
I'm burning the boats.
Why do we care about who's going to carry him if we're burning them? I'm so
Exactly.
goddamn.
Right.
What is your message, David Goggins?
But no,
You don't know me, he says to everyone who knows his name. I'm so fucking confused.
You're burning the boats and you're going all in to your one goal. Because why would you fucking half-ass something and not actually try to improve as much as you can? Yeah. So I'm getting to that point now to where I'm starting to leak it in, like relationship choices are around it. And life choices, job-wise, I have a job that's very free. I have a lot of time to practice, lift, and travel as much as I want.
There's a rumor you might be moving to Virginia. Is that true?
That is...
Can you substantiate that
I
rumor?
can substantiate that, and it's in the works to try to do what I can to get
That's
up
a
here.
no.
Because
He's gonna
it's
try
a
to do it.
No.
Okay, Nina,
Now
no,
we're
no.
gonna make it happen.
Okay, but
Yeah.
she's kind of the expert on no's.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Cheers.
that's 50%.
We're all pretty good throwers. She's real good at saying no. That sounded way worse.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Pause.
If I can monetarily find
Right.
a way and get set up here and find a way to do that, yes, I will move up in a
We're gonna
heartbeat.
make it happen.
Because being able to throw together, you and me, every single day,
You and Jeremy. Wait a minute.
and Jeremy.
Yeah, I like how
And
you just cut me
J-Man.
out of that. We've been training all fucking season, and you think you're just gonna show up and I'm gonna die? What the fuck?
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
That's right.
Nina said, fuck you.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. I don't mean it that way.
Us versus y'all.
Okay, that's fine.
We'd win.
Yeah.
Anything that's not cop related.
We'd be happier.
Yeah.
You can't win if you're in jail.
Are you arguably?
You can't win if you're both in jail.
I used to have a badge. Thank you very much. It was a food inspector badge, but I used to have one.
I've had a badge. Forward for the government. Wait a
Some
second.
point. But yeah, so if we make that happen, that's some
We're gonna make
spicy
it happen.
stuff is going
Yeah.
to happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Very
be
spicy.
dangerous.
Yes.
Sweet. Oh, I know how I wanted to wrap this up. Because I am trying to be really conscious of like either newer people in the sport or people that don't know us personally. So like,
Yeah.
if you had to give one piece of advice, as one of the top, what's your ranking in NASCAR right now?
Top 15.
Yeah, somewhere
It's one of the
around
top
there. I'm
15
just above
throwers
Carson.
in North
7,000
America.
plus athletes.
Yeah.
Like,
If you had to put just a little tidbit out there, we've talked about a lot of things, but if you need to go out on a note and say, hey, here's something I want everyone to hear. Here's some. Oh no, we have to do the magic wand question.
No, ask
No.
this first. I'm curious.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So one piece of advice to give to new throwers that they can broadly apply.
What do
we
you have to say, Patty?
Okay,
To the new thrower.
What do you
News
see
throwers.
either going wrong a lot that people need to fix, or what can they
She
focus
wants
on?
to know, as a new thrower.
Okay, as a new thrower, what I would tell you of just an all-around good advice to follow.
Tren.
Yes.
Drugs are great.
Copious amounts of cattle and horse supplements would be amazing. No, not really.
Elaborate on that.
What you want to do is to start out, you're going to want to...
Go throw anything. Because likely don't come through a throwing background more times than not. Pick something up and just throw it. Your body needs to understand how to apply force on an object that is leaving your hand. Just pick something up and throw it. A rock, a stick, a pine cone, anything. Just pick it up and throw it as hard and as far as you can. But that's for new throwers. That's my number one
You
advice.
need removal.
We don't have any.
Just throw.
Just throw.
That is actually well, and
It's a great piece of advice.
I felt this way about like baseball or track and field or anything. Like
Yeah.
the way you throw one thing is kind of the same. That hip movement. Once you understand it once, you kind of understand it in everything. So
Like why I can barely practice from getting chronically injured with my back.
and you can still throw.
Yeah, and PRing. Like
You've
I
done
do
such a
mental
nice
because
job. I'm
I do
super
mental
great.
reps all the time.
Yeah, fundamentally you understand it.
And my body knows how to apply force on an object.
Yeah.
Your body needs to learn that if you want to be a proficient
You're a
thrower.
whippy dude.
Yeah,
Things
I
don't
am.
get
I'm
good
pretty
until
whippy.
you feel them.
Whip it.
Right.
Whip it good.
And you can't feel them until you do it until you do. That was a stupid fucking sentence.
But so what was the magic
Okay,
wand?
so the magic wand
Oh, yeah,
question.
yeah.
Okay.
If you had a magic wand, and I mean like not Harry Potter magic, you don't have to know a spell. I mean you get to wave it, and whatever you're thinking happens, right?
for the
and
sport.
you could change one thing in the sport. What do you change?
Standards.
Yes!
Not for height events.
Finally,
Standards.
a different answer.
Standards.
Accessibility.
Standards for who?
Different levels of athletes.
Interesting. Could you elaborate?
So we have the novice, the C, the B, the A, subsection Super A, and then pro.
Yeah.
Now, pro-am is very, very, very fuzzy.
Uh-huh.
And now, leaving politics and other things out of it, I believe there should be a standard. Either Kentucky Derby style of a series of games you have to win or place so high on.
Right.
And have an overall points.
Hey,
Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
shut the fuck up, you two.
Yeah. And then
What is that?
It's I don't know what the
yeah,
fuck he's doing.
my personal opinion, and then have an overall points number you have to hit. You have to win or place high enough in this series of events,
Sure.
like a circuit, and have this number in NASCAR
Right.
to qualify to be invited to pro games. And
Interesting.
then if you can get the invites, you get invited.
So you don't like the good old boy system?
No, I think it should be some qualitative value.
So nepotism alone shouldn't
Yeah,
get you there.
some qualitative.
Yeah.
No, quantitative.
Both.
Whatever's the number one of those. The numbers. I've been out of college for too long.
So qualitative means quality, and quantitative means quantity. So you want quantitative.
Whichever one's the numbers.
Quality.
No,
No,
quantitative.
the
No,
quantitative.
Quantitative.
Yeah, quantitative. Yeah, I've been out of college for too
Go
long.
back to saying no.
I'm so
Yeah.
messed up about this.
So
Standard.
have a standard
Hey,
for
hey guys.
yeah.
Hey,
So have a
shut the fuck
standard
up.
for novice. Okay, your first. If this is your first like 5 games, you're novice, and then from there C. But a lot of them don't have C. I say get rid of it and just go
This feels
B.
too good.
And just get rid of novice and C and just go B. Oh, this is getting sexy. You should see this. It's a lot of
This is
Nina.
We need to start a YouTube to coincide
Yes.
with this.
Nina,
So
come on, you
creamy.
need to get in this.
That's a lot.
Nina, no.
It
Come
feels
on.
good.
No.
Whatever's happening.
Oh, you can
it's
pet
nice.
his head right here. Just look at that.
I don't think you're allowed to do
Luscious head
that.
of hair.
Let's snip you first.
So it doesn't get aggressive. But yeah, have a set standard.
Sure, standards.
Yeah.
We all have standards.
Yeah. Meet them.
bad.
Don't lower your standards.
All right, so standards for classes. That's a great answer.
yours?
This is devolving so fast. We
This
need
one's-
to.
It's not mine.
We need to
know.
be done
I'll
here.
drink
And
it.
hey,
you.
would you like to, as our guest, make an honorary fun noise to end the podcast?
Ooh, you ready for this one?
I'm so ready.